Is your skin feeling super sensitive? You might be making one of these mistakes. I'm Dr. Sam Ellis. I am a board-certified dermatologist in Northern California, and I'm here to help you understand your skin and find products that work for you. So if that sounds good, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you stick around for mistake number 4. It's a mistake I see my patients make all the time, and I want to make sure you're not doing it too. And I'll also be giving some tips at the end about what to do if your skin is feeling sensitive and how to make it feel better. Now, sensitive skin can mean a variety of things. It can mean your skin has a lot of different allergies, or that your skin is more reactive than the average person's, or that you just find your skin to be red, sting and burn, or not be able to tolerate a lot of products that your peers seem to be able to. There's also a study that shows that over 70% of people identify as having sensitive skin. So if you are one of those people, this video is for you. Now let's get into the mistakes and how to correct them. Number 1 is not doing a patch test before you start using a product regularly in your routine. And I want to explain how to correctly perform a patch test because you might hear a dermatologist say or a brand say, patch test before use. But if you're not doing the patch test correctly, you're not going to get the results you need to make a decision about whether or not that product is going to be okay for your skin. So when you're sensitive to a product, you're either going to have an immediate sensitivity, like you apply the product and you feel stinging or burning. Obviously that product is not for you. But more people will have something called a delayed hypersensitivity. This is also how an allergy on the skin shows up. And by nature of the definition of delayed hypersensitivity, you're not going to have a reaction to that product the first time it comes in contact with your skin, but rather after repeated exposure to that product. The first thing you're going to do with a patch test is identify an area of skin that you're going to repeatedly expose to this product. For most of my patients, I recommend the inside of your arm here. That's an area that is hairless, it's an area that doesn't get sun exposure, and it's a really good test spot. You want to make sure you're applying it to the exact same spot every day, and you want to make sure that you are applying a wide enough swatch to really get an assessment. For products that are leave-on products, so serums, moisturizers, sunscreens, makeup, all of that you're going to apply in a thin layer on your inner arm the same way you would apply it to your face. And you're going to wear it throughout the day the same way you would wear that product, so you're not going to wash it off immediately. If after a week you have no reaction in the area, then that product is safe to be applied to your face. And over that week, you're going to be monitoring that area for signs of sensitivity, whether that's stinging with application of the product, redness, bumpiness, any change from your baseline skin. And remember, we are looking for not just that immediate sensitivity, but that delayed hypersensitivity. So oftentimes that shows up on day 4, 5, or 6 of your patch test. Now, if you go the whole week with no issues, then I would feel more comfortable applying that product to your face. The only thing different you'll do with wash-off products, because you should also test those, whether that's a cleanser, a shampoo, or a conditioner, is that you will apply it to your skin for about a minute and then rinse it off, the same way you would rinse off a cleanser. So that is how you properly patch test. In dermatology, we call this a repeat open application test or a ROAT test. It's not about applying a little swatch to your jawline and seeing if you have a reaction an hour later. You really need to commit a week to patch testing a product if you're serious about understanding if you're going to be sensitive to it. And I'm not saying you need to do this with every single product you're bringing into your routine, but if you have really sensitive or allergenic skin and you're finding that it's very hard to tolerate a lot of your products, I totally recommend this. Mistake number 2 I see when it comes to sensitive skin is not moisturizing regularly. Moisturizing is not just for people with dry skin. The act of moisturization actually helps fortify your skin barrier and make it less sensitive. For example, we know that kids who grow up with eczema tend to have other allergies as they get older. And the thought is because when they are kids and they're dealing with eczema, they have all these little microscopic cracks in their skin, which allows allergens and irritants from the outside world to get into their system and cause allergies down the line. And it's been shown that kids who take care of their eczema and who moisturize regularly to protect their skin barrier have fewer allergies as they get older. And aside from preventing or limiting skin sensitivity, applying moisturizer can also help soothe skin if it's feeling sensitive. One issue I come across as a dermatologist is when a patient says, "Yes, Dr. Ellis, I understand that I need to be moisturizing. However, my skin does not seem to agree with so many different moisturizers, whether that's because I get stinging or redness or burning." For people who struggle to find a moisturizer that they can tolerate, one of my favorite facial moisturizers that I recommend all the time in my clinic is by La Roche-Posay. It's their Toleriane Dermalargo moisturizer. The reason this tends to be tolerated so well is because it does not have a lot of the classic allergens that we find in a lot of skincare. And again, those ingredients that we see in other skincare are not bad unless you're allergic to them. The same way it's okay to eat peanuts unless you're allergic to them. When it came to my own skincare line, Prequel, which is designed with sensitive skin in mind, I also wanted to have a really good go-to moisturizer for face and body. The Prequel Barrier Therapy Cream, which has things like ceramides to fortify the skin barrier and oatmeal to soothe the skin, is one of my absolute go-tos when my skin is feeling sensitive. That support of my skin barrier has helped me do things like tolerate my retinoids better and just calm my skin when it's not feeling so hot. Number 3, when it comes to sensitive skin mistakes, is switching between skincare products too often. When you have sensitive skin, less is really best. Every time you're introducing new products, you are introducing potential irritants or allergens to your routine. Now, if you try a product and it immediately causes irritation or stinging or redness, of course, let that go out of your routine. But you don't want to constantly be cycling through different products if they continue to work for you. I feel like we have this issue in skin and skincare where we're always looking for the next best, the next best. But if you have sensitive skin and you have found your tried and true products, it's absolutely okay to just stick with those. And in that same vein, that brings me to mistake number 4, which is a mistake that I not only see my patients make all the time, but I think it's a general consumer issue, which is starting too many new products at once. And I totally get this. I'm also guilty of doing this because you go out, you say, okay, I'm gonna refresh my skincare routine, or I did a little Sephora haul and I'm ready to start everything at once. But the issue is that if you have sensitive skin and you subsequently have a reaction, you have absolutely no clue as to what caused that issue. Not only could you have a sensitivity to one of those products, but you may have a sensitivity to how those products are interacting with each other. And I know I spoke earlier about how to perform a proper patch test, but also if you're worried about your products interacting with each other and you've done patch testing of them individually, you should also consider patch testing them by layering them to make sure that they all work well together on your skin. And because of the possibility of having a delayed hypersensitivity to one of your products, when you are introducing new things into your routine, whether that is skincare, makeup, or hair care, literally anything that's going to go on your skin, you want to make sure that you are separating those products by a week. Some people like to do a reverse of this, which is start everything at once, and then if they have an issue, work backwards from there. But I feel like you'll save yourself a big headache if you just start by slowly introducing things. I know, easier said than done, but it's my recommendation. Mistake number 5 is something we're all probably a little guilty of as well, which is using too many products in our routine. Now again, if you don't have skin sensitivity and you're not having issues, go ahead and continue with whatever you're using. But I find that a lot of patients with sensitive skin are either trying lots of products, or they're constantly incorporating new products, or they have a 10-step skincare routine and they can't figure out what's causing their problems. So pare it down. Something I talk about a lot with my patients who have sensitive skin or who have a lot of skin allergies is finding their core 4 when it comes to skincare. And this core 4 refers to 4 products that will always work well with their skin and have never given them issues. I'm typically asking patients to find a cleanser, a moisturizer, a sunscreen, and some type of barrier protectant or occlusive ointment that works well with their skin. And this is not always an easy task to find these things, but the reason why I want people to have their core 4 is because that is the foundation of their routine. And then when they want to introduce something new to their routine, they have something to build upon and they can rely on that base. Sensitive skincare mistake number 6 is being too aggressive with your skincare. And this can really mean a few different things. Number 1 is being too aggressive with the types of products that you're using, either using too much or too strong of a retinoid or too much or too strong of an exfoliant. Retinoids and exfoliants are key skincare products when it comes to anti-aging and brightening the skin and making the skin overall look more glowy, but more is not always more in this case. Both of these types of products have the potential to cause a lot of irritation because they expedite skin cell turnover and they help remove layers of your skin barrier. Now, to some degree that can be helpful, right? We want to remove some of that outer dead skin cell layer to really help our skin glow and to help with things like hyperpigmentation. But if we remove too much of that dead skin cell layer, we are more prone to irritation, and that can be problematic. When you're choosing products to be in your skincare routine and how often you are going to use those products, it really needs to be intentional. We are choosing products to bring into our routine based on what our end goals are. And for most people, they do not need an exfoliant every single day or a really potent retinoid to get to their skin goals. So if your skin is red, it's stinging or burning when you're putting products on, it's always itchy, really cut it down on the retinoids and exfoliants. You may need to even completely eliminate them from your routine for a little while and then slowly start reincorporating them. Your skin shouldn't constantly be stressed out, irritated, flaking, red, peeling. A lot of people think, ooh, that means my products are working. No, that means your products are irritating. I see people have this problem too with introducing a physical exfoliant too much, so it's not just about the chemical peels that can be problematic, but also if you're doing a lot of harsh scrubbing or rubbing on your skin, that can make it more sensitive. And I'm not just talking about physical exfoliation that comes with specific scrubby products, but also if you're being really harsh with your makeup wipes or how you're rubbing your face dry after you wash it. Those are all forms of physical exfoliation and they add up. Ooh, I'm excited for mistake number 7 because this is also an issue that comes up all the time in my clinic and I see it all the time on social media, which is thinking that if a product is natural, that it's not going to cause problems for your skin. I feel like certain sources are always saying things like chemicals are bad for your skin or synthetic skincare is problematic, but really so many things that are derived from nature, whether that's certain fragrances or essential oils, can be extremely irritating or allergenic for your skin. So if you're using a product that's labeled as natural or 100% organic, you can't discount it as causing a potential problem for you. For example, the oil that comes from poison ivy, urushiol, totally natural, also totally problematic. And I'm also not trying to demonize all natural products, but it's just something to be aware of that just because it's natural doesn't mean it's good for you. I just have a couple more mistakes left to share, and then I'm going to get into how to help your skin if it's feeling sensitive. So if you're liking this video so far, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Mistake number 8 is showering or bathing in really hot water. You've probably heard dermatologists harp on this all the time, but we say it over and over again because we see it cause problems for patients over and over again. Really hot water when you're showering, I'm talking the type of water that leaves your entire shower and bathroom area covered in steam, can really do a number on your skin barrier. And if you're breaking down your skin barrier with just water, which is possible to do, you're going to be more sensitive. And I'm not saying you need to take lukewarm showers. Like, we want that to be an enjoyable experience for you, but we do not want scalding hot water on our skin on a regular basis. And lastly, mistake number 9, which comes up every single day in my clinic when my patient is suffering from sensitive skin or an allergy, is the mistake of thinking that because you didn't change anything in your routine, you can't possibly have a sensitivity or allergy to something you're using. If you've used the same shampoo or the same face wash for the last 10 years and suddenly your skin is feeling sensitive, you still need to consider those as potentially problematic for you. And the reasons for that can be twofold. One, you can develop an allergy or sensitivity to an ingredient or to a product at any time. None of us are born with allergies. They are things that form over time due to shifts in our immune system. People all the time will say, well, I was never allergic to it before. Yes, that is always going to be the case. Aside from this potential issue, manufacturers can change how they formulate a product and they don't have to tell you. So they might have a new supplier for one of their ingredients, or they might have changed a preservative in one of the products. And essentially that is the same product you've been using for the last 10 years, but it's actually not. So it's not always about looking to the new things that you've incorporated into your skincare routine when your skin is feeling sensitive, but also evaluating what's been in your routine because those can also be the culprit. Okay, those are the mistakes. Say you've made one of them and your skin is now feeling sensitive. What can you do? Number 1, understand that your skin barrier can generally heal over the course of 2 weeks. The first thing you're going to do is remove any products from your routine that have the potential to be irritating. And we typically call these types of products actives. This will include things like exfoliants, that can be chemical or physical. It also includes things like retinoids, vitamin C, even anti-aging peptides. Basically anything that you've been applying to your skin to get your skin to transform and not just maintain itself counts as an active. You heard me earlier speak about that core 4, so oftentimes I'll just recommend that you cut your routine down to your core 4, use that for a couple weeks and see how your skin does. And during that time, you're really focusing on healing your skin. You're not putting your skin through any type of stressful situation. So you're relying on gentle cleansing and moisturizing and sun protecting. That's it. And there are certain ingredients you can look for in your skincare products that are known to help with skin barrier function. Things like ceramides, niacinamide, panthenol, petrolatum, glycerin, dimethicone. These are all things that we incorporate into skincare to help the barrier perform better. If you continue to have really sensitive or reactive skin and it's affecting your everyday life, that is a really good time to get plugged in with a dermatologist. But some clinics also offer professional patch testing where we expose you to many different things that might be in your environment or in your skincare to understand what sensitivities we might not have picked up on yet. If you're someone who has sensitive skin and you found some great skincare products that work well for you, please share them in the comments. I'm always curious to know about them and we can help each other out here. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.